It's Dr. V and me with the same technical issues, but just so you'll all know, happy Labor Day, first of all. And just so you'll know, we are at email number 32 with YouTube, trying to get YouTube to figure, I mean, they're being very nice, but we're trying to figure out what this technical issue is, and they know there's an issue. They just haven't been able to put their finger on it. But thank you all for coming. Enjoy. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. A beautiful day. This weekend has been incredible. How's it been up there in Philly, Dr. V?
Beautiful.
Actually beautiful. And did you notice the other day we got some commenter coming in saying I have a Pennsylvania accent? Did you hear that? Did you see that? I didn't understand that at all. You were like proud that you had one. I don't have a Pennsylvania accent. I don't know what accent I have. I say right on. We're ready to go. Let's talk. It's a bad economy. It's all starting right now. You see Dr. V smiling back there. He likes to smile when I do this and I talk about this. But let's go on let's talk about where Spartacus, my man. We are back at Spartacus. Spartacus, we figured this was a good time to start. We know there aren't going to be a zillion people, but we're just saying right on. And at the same time, let's start hyping. I don't know if people notice. I think there's a hype thing on these I don't know if it's the shorts or the lives or whatever, but if you see a hype button, push that too, will you please?
Yeah, that's a new thing.
You see it? I just heard about the hype button, so I go right on. If there is, let's go with it. Either way, let's talk the economy. The Wall Street Journal had a great article today, because we like to talk facts and everything, about how things are really splitting up in our country. How the wealthy, and I say wealthy, it's a wrong, I don't know if it's always the right word to use or the wrong word to use, but those who are over like $250,000 a year, $300,000 a year are powering the economy and doing really well. But what's happening is that what we used to call the middle class, which is $50,000 to $150,000, are just getting smashed. They're pulling back. They're not buying as many clothes. Walmart's having specials. You see McDonald's having specials. Home Depot's trying to make some deals. There was another article out which was really interesting about how the tariffs are coming in and adding to the retail prices. But what the retailers are doing is they are taking a chunk of it, putting that money in their pocket. Taking that tax that they have to pay. They are taking it out of their pocket and just having consumers maybe pay another 6 or 7% so far. But what we know is, which is where it goes, I think Dr. V is starting to see it also, is that as inflation goes up, it compounds. So if we went up from $100 to $110, it's not going to go down from 110. So if it goes up then to 114, which is less of a move up in inflation, it's still a compound because now it's 114. And what we're seeing with our retailers is that they are starting to pass on some of it. And remember what this is. This is a tax. When the President of the United States talks about this big, beautiful bill, he's talking about a tax. A tax on you, a tax on me. Because even if the retailer is eating some of it or the distributor is eating some of it, we're going to end up paying for it. And as we end up paying for it, your salary isn't going to be going up, but these costs are going to be going up, which leads to a big word that Dr. V knows I've been talking about, and those of you watching us for a while have been talking about, knowing I've been talking about stagflation. It just seems to be around the corner. Look at what's going on. You have increasing prices. You have salaries that stay the same or maybe are going down a bit. You have people losing jobs left and right. Right now, we still haven't seen all of the jobs that have been lost. We have lots of federal jobs that haven't added into the bottom line number because they get payoffs till the end of September 30th. They get payouts, these employees, until the September 30th. So they can't file for unemployment until after that. There is also another article today, just incredible stuff about how blacks are taking the brunt of this and how black women are taking the brunt of unemployment and how it's going out, which means we're now going to start seeing no more maybe two income households and families like that, where people lose that money, and then all of a sudden, how are you going to pay for things? How are you going to pay for food? We're starting to already see the really bad issues that are arising as a result of the economy. And I'll tell you this, Dr. V, it's because we got a president that doesn't care. We got a president that's just focused on destroying this country, getting rid of science, getting rid of facts, getting rid of real data, getting rid of it all under the term of Ministry of Truth, where he comes out and wears a hat and says he's never wrong and lays the jive on everybody. Look at this economy right now. It is not good. We're coming out of the summer. Everybody's happy. Then it starts, people start paying for the parties, have things in Thanksgiving and New Year's and Christmas. It's going to be very interesting what happens after that as we see those prices go up and up and up. And those who are on the lower end of the scale, because the middle class is becoming the lower end of the scale, that's where people are getting really angina and getting all worked up. It's those people who cannot make more money, maybe making less money, and are having to pay more to live. And when you look at data, the data right now is still kind of, I think, copacetic. And it's showing slow rising inflation. It sure isn't showing it going down, and it's showing unemployment going down. Unemployment going up, but it's going up slower because the pool of employees are gone. Did you see as a little side thing, Dr. V, the other day, where in Washington State, the firemen were out dealing with a wildfire, the brush. It wasn't really bad. They were getting it down. And ICE shows up, or Border Patrol or someone shows up while they're putting out a fire, and they lock all these people up while they're putting out a fire. What is going on in this country? Doesn't that tell you what's happening? Not, I don't know, literally, but figuratively, he wants to burn down the country. What do you have to say, Dr. V?
Well, I mean, certainly you see...
Guillermo! Good.
Certainly you see that there's ignoring facts when it comes to the economy. You certainly see a mean-spirited government that's trying to deport people, even though they're trying to put out fires. But what I've been concerned about more this week is what's happening at the CDC. That there's a advisory committee to advise on vaccines, and he fired the whole committee. That happened, I guess, in June or so. And then this week he fired the head of the CDC, who won't leave and is trying to replace that person.
Well, she left. She left.
I
think so.
And so, I mean, again, so he's putting in place people who are just faithful to his view of things, not people who are going to obey the science, obey the data. And I've said it before, but when you make politics with medicine, all you get is politics. You don't get good medicine. And so I'm really concerned about what's happening to our medical system. So besides people being thrown, that are going to find it more difficult to afford insurance, by replacing the advisory committee on the vaccines, you're going to see that the insurance companies are not going to pay for the vaccines anymore. People are going to be getting all sorts of conflicting information that should get vaccinated or not. And then people are going to wind up not getting vaccinated. And so the health of the country is going to be jeopardized. For what? For what? To make a point about how vaccines are bad for people? The medical establishment is going crazy right now trying to figure out a way to respond to this.
Because it's more than vaccines, Joe. It's a lot more. It's Trump tearing down the country. It's the end of the American century. It's going backwards. It's Devo. It's Devo. It's because he does, because people who vote for him, who vote and love him, won't vote for him if they think that he likes vaccines. So he can't say he likes vaccines, because all he cares about is catering to those people because they vote for him. They're the people from yesterday. It's Devo, de-evolution. And let me tell you something. This is the Devo album to listen to. But somebody got on me the other day and said, I've had it with just doing those Devo albums. So we're talking Devo. Let me give you this Devo album rocking out. And this is the one with the Devo corporate anthem. And this is the song and video you should watch when you're thinking about Donald Trump. Go onto YouTube, put on Devo corporate anthem. Dun, 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 dun. That's where that's going. And I'll throw on another Devo. I love them, man. What a great group. Great music. But the problem is, we're going backwards. We're de-evolving, and that's the point. We have taken, medicine doesn't matter anymore. It's voodoo medicine. Who cares about medicine? Who cares about economics? Who cares about the truth? The ministry of truth is what we are being told by the government is the truth. That's where it's going. It's Orwellian, 1984. People talk about it, but they didn't read it. They didn't read Animal House. They didn't read any of that stuff to really understand what's going on. Is that we are being ripped apart. Our economy is in bad shape. And the worse shape he lets it go in, then he gets people angrier and angrier and splits people up, because that's what President Trump's focus is to split the country in half. Do you notice where everything is coming out of? Texas. So he gives Texas all the money in the world for their floods and everything, which he should, because Texas is a state and people got killed there. I mean, they needed it. Texas totally blew it there. Texas totally blew it. They had the floods. Trump pumps the money into it. So what does Texas do? They start passing laws to help Trump. Hey, they already did it with the border, sending out the National Guard, and now they have people running around, and he's trying to, they changed the districts, so there's 5 more districts. Democrats are going to have to get in there and just hustle. Not just Democrats, independents are going to have to get in there and hustle and say, this is a fraud by the Republicans. You don't have to be a Democrat to see it's a fraud by the Republicans. Independents should be going in there and fighting this kind of stuff. But now what they're doing is they're changing the laws there, where now if you send mifepristone or abortion medicine over, that you can be sued and be charged and all this. So what we do is we're splitting the country in half. It's like birthright citizenship. If you're born in the correct state, you're an American citizen. If you're not born in that state, you're not an American citizen. It's a split. The people don't see what's going on. It's going backwards. We are destroying the economy to help push things back. And who makes all the money? Let's take a step back. It's the top group. They're making the cash. Do you see Trump out there trying to eat? Do you see his sons out there on the bread lines? Do you see any of those people? No. Who are the people who sit with Donald Trump at the table? Millionaires who just pump millions of dollars in. They love the big, beautiful bill. The tax kicks are to them. The tax breaks are to them. They make all the cash, and whatever cash people are going to make in the middle class from the tax bill is only going to happen after 2020, after this year, when you file your taxes. So until then, you have people going out of business. You have taxes essentially going up by raising prices, by tariffs, raising taxes. Where's that money going? Nowhere. And it's coming out of our pocket. Prices going up. We got a problem. People losing jobs left and right. I'm telling you, the blacks, look at the article. Blacks, I think it was the New York Times. Don't tell me it's because of the Times. The numbers were there. Black women are taking the brunt of this. So now it almost seems like Trump's on a war with this. You want to argue DEI? Fine. I don't get involved in any of that kind of stuff. You do it, okay. But when it comes down and starts hurting people because you're making points that who and what, that you're an American only if you're this, this, and this. And if you're not that, you're not an American. And they just come and pick you up, and they'll pick you up when you're fighting a brush fire, and they'll throw you out of business because you got the wrong color, because they won't look to see if you're actually qualified, you had the job. What is going on here? How about the mortgage fraud? Fed Reserve. Trump wants to go in there and take over the Fed Reserve. We know why. Because his economy right now is in trouble. So in trouble because of actions that Trump took. So he wants to get the interest rates down. I don't know how much he thinks he can get it down to make that much of a difference. But if inflation's up and he's forcing interest rates down, that leads to heavy stagflation that we lived through in the 70s when we were in college. But keep this in mind also. This mortgage fraud stuff, it seems to be everywhere. We had a state's attorney here in Maryland, in one of the cities, that got in trouble for writing whatever she did on the paperwork. A jury found her guilty. Now we're seeing it with this woman who's the Fed. What's her name? Lisa Cook? I don't remember. I apologize. But look at what's not happening in Texas. Ken Paxton, the attorney general, and his wife have been accused of mortgage fraud on 3 mortgages. saying they were all personal, I believe, or they were going to live there. Has anything happened to Ken Paxton? No. Do the Republicans file anything? Look at this. The guy who's filing all this stuff for the Fed is the guy who's in charge of Fannie and Freddie. And remember, didn't I tell you at the beginning, Joe, they were going to take Fannie and Freddie and make them public? Well, when they take, which is the big insurer of all the loans in America, well, just think, when they bring that public and they sell those stocks, who's going to guarantee it? Are we going to guarantee it? Who knows? But who's going to make all the money when it comes public? Voila! More of these super wealthy guys who own all the stock, and you're going to learn. You're going to lose 30-year loans. You're going to lose probably 20-year loans. Who knows? But the 30-year loan is going to be gone, and interest rates are going to go up unless we guarantee those loans. And if we guarantee those loans, why are we letting the rich guys get the money? Once again, that's what's going on in this. I mean, Trump sounds like Ma'am Donnie to me. You know, the guy running for mayor of New York? Ma'am Donnie is talking about having grocery stores. Ma'am Donnie's talking about rent freezes. Ma'am Donnie is talking about taking over the buses and making it free. How is it any different than Trump going in and saying all of our businesses have to pay big taxes because of some so-called emergency, and at the same time he takes stock in these companies, 10% of Intel, a chunk of U.S. Steel, and all these. That's not Ma'am Donnie. That's communism. That's coming in and taking control. And if you were competing with Intel, how happy are you that the government's got money in Intel, that the government is stock in Intel? Government's going to sit there and, you know, Trump will go, I want you to make a deal here. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. How about other local American companies that are going to be hurt because Trump bends over backwards for other companies in America? This is government taking over capitalism. There's no capitalism. This is what went on in Hungary. This is what went on in all these other countries in Eastern Europe where there are issues going on. They love it. So what happens is most people think everything's going good. The stoplights work. Most people are still eating. You can still cruise around. Most people still have their jobs. But meanwhile, all the norms are getting cut off underneath. And medicine, bye-bye. Medicine, this is going back to the medieval times. Remember, we've got a guy running the Department of Health and Human Services who enjoyed swimming in a polluted stream. Big pictures of him smiling, and he had grandchildren there. That's the guy who's running our health. So we have no facts or data there. They're getting rid of everybody for that. FEMA, 30 people at FEMA wrote a letter. What was it, last week, I believe, Joe? They said it's going to fall apart. It's already started falling apart. They fire all those, and the only answer you hear from everyone is, wow, we're cleaning out the sludge. I don't think so. I think things were basically working. I think we had the greatest medicine in the world here. I think we had the greatest research in the world here. I think the people in the world wanted to come here to learn. This is the greatest country, and we are getting all of our rights undermined. And remember this, if they are picking up people at a fire where firemen are out there putting their lives out for whatever it is, whether it's the end of the fire, the beginning of the fire, I've been saying this from the initiation of this. We've got $175 million private police force that Trump, nationalized police force, ICE, that Trump is running. $175 billion, the masked man. To me, there was only one masked man that I trust, and his name was the Lone Ranger. The rest of these guys, you put on a mask, you can't trust them because they're hiding. They're hiding because they want to do things to you, can do things to you, and you can't protect yourself because you can't ask for a badge number. You can't ask for a name. Give me docs. Look at these ads. Bring these people in. Hey, we can all be bros and take people out. Isn't this? This is where we're going. We hang together or we hang alone. And that's the truth. And right now, being an individual, you're going to be taken down. Just think of all the American citizens that have been thrown out of the country, Joe. I'm getting worked up. What do you have to say, Joe? I hit a whole bunch of stuff there, but what do you have to say, Joe?
Well, I mean, the general trend of things is that there does seem to be a government is taking over everything. And I think Bill Maher said it best, we're in the middle of a slow-moving coup. That he's just taking over things. And I wonder if part of the agenda is next time there's elections, if they trump up, excuse the pun, charges that the election wasn't run properly. He's going to come in and he has the police force to change the free and fair election. So in exchange for our freedom, he's giving us certain security, I guess. But is that what people really want? Do people want to exchange their freedoms for security? And and it's the same, in the streets of Washington D.C., where it brings in the National Guard. Maybe crime is down a little bit right now. When the National Guard leaves, the crime will go back up. They're not addressing any of the fundamental issues that create the crime. And so, is this what people really voted for? Is this what people want? That's the question.
It is. But if I may, Joe, the numbers went up in D.C. on Friday and Saturday of crime. The numbers went up, even with all those guys there, Friday and Saturday. Fact, people like facts. People like data, like Dr. V. That's a fact. Numbers went up on Friday and Saturday. So you don't hear Trump talking about that. But what Joe's talking about is like right on. But I don't see where we feel secure or feel security. What's he doing? I was out at dinner the other night. Man, the price is outrageous. I'm out at dinner the other night in the downtown in Baltimore. I'm there, okay? I'm talking to people and we're thinking like, what would be happening if National Guard troops were walking around Baltimore right now? Now, there are areas where there's issues. They wouldn't send the troops there, of course. But the city's a really cool city, okay? And we're sitting there thinking, what would it be like if you got Army guys walking up and down the streets of a really peaceful city? People are sitting around on a beautiful night having a good time. It's sick. It's sick. What's the security? What are you giving? You're giving nothing. You're trying to make people think it's a lot worse than it is. Yeah, we need better policing. Yeah, there are areas that are absolutely horrendous. Yeah, our kids. I mean, we got issues with juveniles, but the main reason is because they don't go to school. We don't make them go to school, and we don't make them part of this country. So you see all this going on. Security? What kind of security is that? Joe, he's not giving us security. He's cutting everything out. And what he's doing is under the knees, and he's giving security to people with money. Don't get mad when I say it, Joe. People are entitled to the money they earn. You work hard, you're entitled to your money. But the people getting the cash here, the people getting the benefits, are the people paying $1 million, $2 million, $3 million to sit at a dinner table with this guy and to buy his meme coins and to buy what he sells and so he can put money in his pocket. He wasn't this rich before he became president. His kids, I mean, one of them said the Trump name is the biggest name in the world. Why? Because the kids did it? It's because you got a president who's focused on himself and those who have the money. It's not good. It's really not good. I don't see a security. Security. What's he doing in Ukraine? That's what I'm waiting for. Ukraine's his Afghanistan. Did you notice the Russians are starting to hit American factories where they make coffee pots in Ukraine? They did that the other day. Do you know that Russia hit European offices in Ukraine? They did that the other day. Did you know that the Russians are taking drones and riding them and flying them over where all our troops, where a lot of the troops are moving weapons and stuff in Europe? They're doing that. And what are we doing? Nothing. Right. Secure? He's killing our security. He's destroying our security. This is what it is. We got strike forces getting set up by Hegseth who can't even do a pull-up. You know, that guy, he thinks he's Mr. Cool. He thinks he's good looking. Did you see him in RFK Jr. doing the workouts? RFK was better than he was, and I'm better than RFK. But they were sitting there doing it, like they're tough. He can't even do a pull-up, Hegseth. But he sure can talk tough and have strike forces for the cities. How does that make us more secure? People have to start showing what's going on out there. I don't think it's a matter of leadership. It's a matter of getting the word out and quit acting like with Trump and ignore half of what Trump says. Because the key is you can't fight Trump on every angle. But how about this most recent one, Joe? We talk economy, we talk foreign policy, we talk anything. Congress passed $4.5 billion for international aid. The company, the division, the department, AID, which has been destroyed by Trump. Well, what Trump's doing is to try to do a rescission almost like a pocket veto, which has never been allowed before. Whereas it's something like this. I don't have the exact amount of days right. I apologize. But he says with less than 45 days left for the Department of Management and Budget, which he runs to distribute the money, he goes, hold on, I want to look into it. That stops it for 45 days. Then what happened is the budget, then the year ends, the budget year ends. So the money never gets sent out. Think about that. So Congress, who is supposed to run the money, has the president say, I'm not going to spend it. It doesn't matter. What are you going to do? And what does Congress do? Nothing. Where's the Senate? Where are these people? They're nowhere. Security? What are we talking about, security? We're talking about destroying the economy of this country, just destroying this country. Hey, India, weren't we supposed to be friends with India? Who are they breaking bread with right now? China, Russia, North Korea, and India. And the best part is when the South Korean president was here at the White House, all Trump could talk about was how great North Korea was. People have to wake up and see what's going on. This is an almost 80-year-old guy who's a little, I think, and is having issues, and it just knows he's just driven by emotion. Joe and I always disagree with this, but he is just driven by emotion, and that's what works with his people. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Eddie, we lived under dictatorship. Oh, right now, Eddie, we're not saying that Trump is a dictator. Please, you're misunderstanding. What we're saying is we are losing rights that we had. While you were living under that dictatorship, unfortunately, we were living under a Bill of Rights, rights that we as Americans have. Trump is taking it. We understand. We're not doing fine. We are losing our rights. But you were definitely in a great country compared to where you lived before. Let's see what else we got. Putin. Who do we have? Putin. Where's anybody coming up for Putin? All the boys. There we go. Joe, it's devolution. Let me hear it again. We are devolving. We're little snails with little tails. And I'm really wondering with brain, it's like anti-intellectualism. If you're smart, you're out. If you're smart, the dumber you act, the better you are. The bigger the beard, the better you are. All of it, the tougher you are on TV. I watch these guys. I watch Fox. You ask them a question, they can't give an answer, so they give you a different answer, but the person never comes back and says, how about the question I asked? How about the question I asked? So we got a problem. Sorry, Eddie. I'm happy you're here, though. And I'm happy we still have some modicum of rights, but it's leaving quickly. Masks. Masked men on the streets of America. Masked men on the streets of America. Go ahead, Joe. Disgusted.
Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's assume that you are right and that we're losing our freedom, the economy is tanking, that the healthcare system is going to crap, and Trump is causing all these things. Let's assume that we are evolving as a species.
As Americans.
What do we do about this? What's the call to action? I mean, is it the Democrats' plan to sort of fight fire with fire and do their own redistricting, like in California, to troll Trump? I mean, how do we deal with this? Do you have any ideas about that? I
just think more people have to speak out. But right now, people are living too good and thinking things are cool. There's also no news right now. Look, we're on. We know that it was going to be Labor Day Sunday. We didn't expect a lot of people. We just wanted to get out and start talking and get moving again. We hadn't talked for 2 weeks. But I think you're going to start finding as time goes on, there's going to be more news coming out of Congress, which means there's going to be more news on TV, which means there's going to be more people talking. Right now, Congress has been out. Trump's been doing whatever he wants to do, right? And getting away with it, which he'll get away with most of the time. We got that going. I'll tell you another problem we got is the supine court. Remember, when all this stuff goes up, I call the Supreme Court the supine court because, as we know, the Supreme Court is in the pocket of President Trump. Remember when Trump did his State of the Union, he came down and he thanked the Chief Justice, and they smiled and shook hands and right on. Thank you, Chief Justice. We know what's going on. So we have a supine court. We may have a problem with our court system right now. I think we really do. So we have to just keep talking. I think we're going to start seeing, as people come back, they're going to be more cognizant. They're not going to be out partying. They're not going to be at the beach. and they're going to start seeing what's going on. And I think they're going to start demanding things of the people that represent them. I hope. The issue isn't Democrat. The issue isn't Republican. The issue is American. The issue is American. We care about America. We love America. We don't care left, right, green, red, yellow. Well, purple. I like purple big time. But there's a reason for that. And orange and black. But we had a horrible year this year, the Orioles. But it's still the greatest country in the world. And so people will start moaning. I can't believe people are going to keep their mouths shut, Joe. I just can't believe it. Not when the president acts like the guy running for mayor of New York.
I'm just not sure. What is the evidence that people are going to speak up?
Oh, there's no evidence yet. I'm only telling you what I think. And I think what's going to happen is the economy is going to keep getting worse, which is going to really make people angry. People are coming back from vacation, which makes them more cognizant about what's going on. They'll be at work talking with people more. Even some companies still work together, or they all deal. You're going to start seeing more stories of people losing their jobs, more stories of people not being able to afford to eat, more stories of all this. You're going to start seeing even more of this spread. And then you'll start. That's just what I think, Joe. I could be wrong, unless Trump can totally control the story. But I don't think he can, because he'll be throwing so much out. And if people are smart, these people, the thought leaders, they pick 2 or 3 issues and stick with it. Economy, 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 economy. Putin is hitting our people. We should be mentioning that, okay? And the Ministry of Truth. The lies, the distortion of data, the throwing out of things. I think you stick with that and you got people's attention. That's what I think. I could be wrong. You ask me my opinion, that's strictly my opinion.
I want more than an opinion. I want a plan, a strategy.
The plan is...
How do you get people to wake up? How do you get people to change their minds?
I've said from
we could passively wait for the economy to tank, which would probably help. That will get people's attention. But, short of that, what do you do? Do the Democrats close down the government? Is there some gesture that can be made to fire back? It just feels like people are taking this and no one is fighting back.
Well, you just hit what one of the things I talked about. With Congress coming back, they're going to be able to do things. There's been no...
Like what?
Like shut down the budget. They're going to say, hey, this is what you got to do. We passed a budget. This is different. We passed a budget, okay, that was a bipartisan budget that provided for these monies to be paid out. And they got to get some of the Republicans to come over with them and say, we, the Republicans, voted and agreed on all this with you. And then the people have to start demanding that if you're going to vote for this, you got to back up what you're going to vote. And if what you voted for, and if you're not going to back up what you voted for, there's Mike, then we have an issue. That's what has to start. It has to start somewhere. And people are only going to get angry as they start seeing the problems, as the problems get worse. Like I said, right now it's summertime. It's beautiful. It's Labor Day. People are barbecuing. They're out partying. They're doing their thing. You and I, we're just getting worked up again. I'll tell you another thing people should do. They should take our live stream and they should send it out to all of their friends and tell their friends to watch our live stream and listen to us and put their ideas in there so we can also get the word out to people. I think that'd be a good idea. What do you think, Joe? Let's see what Mike says. Let me rephrase. People can afford to go on vacation. How the economy is failing. Mike, it's called Visa cards. And most people are going on big vacations. If you look at the numbers, the rich people are going on vacations. It's a split between people who have money and don't. And those that don't aren't. They're going to Dollar General. And Dollar General's doing well. I think it was Dollar General, Dollar Tree. Walmart's doing well. McDonald's has to drop their bonus, what is it, their family prices to $5 or $6. Deals look good. I might even check it out. So yeah, that's what's going on, Mike. It's vacation. You get in the car, you drive to the beach. How much does it cost? You buy some ice cream. Man, ice cream's expensive. A milkshake's $10. Think about that. But they offer you whipped cream. I tell them no whipped cream, I'll take extra cherries. So, Mike, that's what's going on. So, Joe, I think we just have to be out talking. We have to get people talking. We have to have people push us out. Push the hype button if it's still there. Please push the hype button for us. Put that stuff out there. And we just have to get people worked up, and people have to see the facts. And they have to understand the facts. And then as they see more and more people get hurt, they realize they're getting hurt too. And if the only people making money, it's not just slowly going to come, it's starting to hit, Joe. It's starting to hit. And it's the rich people in this country who are coming out ahead. The only ones, the wealthy ones, becoming wealthier and wealthier. And people aren't going to put up with it for too much longer. And they're going to know Trump's trying to be wealthy with them. Made over 250 million according to this one number I saw, the way he put it together. His kids loading up, grift. People know that, but they don't mind grift because they think he's doing okay so he can make his money. But when nobody else is making the money, then we have a problem. Cars are going up $4,000. Come on, Joe. You know, an average car in America is 20 years old. Your car isn't 20 years old. Mine is 11 years old. So you look at this, we're keeping our cars a long time. So what does that tell you? It tells you we're having issues. It tells you people can't afford it. Mike's back. You talk about the American population vacation this weekend, Mike. People, they do it. They get in there, they get some steak, or they get their barbecue, they get in the car and they drive to the beach. That's no big thing. I think it's great. I'm happy they do. You have a 2011 Camry. I'm a Toyota guy myself, Art. And what happens, and mine ain't much newer than yours. So what happens is, there's Art of War. He's talking about what's going on out there, Joe. And people just don't see it. That's what's going to happen. Now,
let me stand up for Mike 1 second by saying, I think the data show that this weekend more people are traveling than ever before. The price of gas is the lowest it's been since 2020. That I don't think people are feeling the economic pain that you have predicted. Now,
but I agree. I
agree with you that the seeds are being planted, but I'm not sure people are feeling it yet.
What's there to feel, Joe? If gas is cheap and you didn't take a trip that you normally would have taken, or you didn't go to Disneyland, or you spent less at Disneyland, or you're spending less at other places and they're showing it, you can spend a little bit more and go on the trip. You can pull money out of your house. You know, I've been very worried about that. Haven't I been talking about the home equity loans and everything? The numbers on the more with interest rates coming down a bit, people are now doing cash out refis, which means they're taking cash, their equity out of their house to start to use for whether it be improvements and stuff. I think it's great. You got your equity, but if interest rates are dropping and the only thing that's happening is that people are sucking the equity out of their homes, where's that money going to go in the long run? So people are able to pool. Where's cash coming from? It comes from here. It comes from here. You got credit. You got this. It's out there. The question is, when you start spending it down and you start having a problem, you're in trouble. And those are the people just above the middle class that we're looking at numbers-wise who are just starting to pull that out. Cash out refi. Think about it. If you were in a position, you had to pull money out of your house, and you know me and the home equity loans, that credit card everybody talks about, hey, get this credit card and go to the Hilton or whoever, I'm sorry, generic. Go to the generic hotel and spend your home equity with a generic hotel. Buy home equity. What a deal. And you pay interest on taking your home equity. So there's issues out there. People are going to start seeing it, but how are they making it, Mike? That's where the cash is. Mike, I know you're talking to Spartacus, but I'm talking to you. And I do love you, Mike. You don't have a credit card, right on. But look at the numbers. They're out there. People are paying up to 35% on some credit cards. 30 on some credit. 35%. Outrageous. But credit's under control, but that's how you get your money. And if you're only going to spend $500 or $400, you can do it on a credit card. But you're not going to do thousands. So that's where it is. It's just... People are going to spend on Christmas. People are going to spend on Thanksgiving. It just happens, Joe. You got to accept it no matter what. The question is what they're spending in between and how it's going and who's able to do the spending. And the numbers are there. I gave you the facts. Did you read that journal article today, Joe, about the big split about people under middle class?
I did not read that, but I know that's been going on for years and years.
Yeah, but it's bigger now. But it's bigger now.
Since when we grew up, after World War II, that's when there was a lot of support for people in the middle class. And the middle class did great, the country did great. But since that time, it's been mostly supporting rich people who have the political power to put in the politicians that they like.
Not true.
And the people in the middle class, lower class, have been the ones taking on the chin. I mean, that's the theme that Bernie Sanders has been pushing for decades now.
Middle class, because middle class did great, Joe. You see the story about middle class. Middle class did great in America. It's only been recently it's been starting to get smashed. It all started getting smashed in the the early 2000s when we had the crash with the homes. And that upended everything with values and everything. We were able to have sales and stuff, but that upended everything. Then we went into COVID. Then we went into interest rates. That's what killed these people. So it hasn't been decades. I mean, it hasn't been generations. It's been like since 2007, 2008. So people have been living more and more on credit, but it just gets spread more. If you look at how much more CEOs make than the regular people, there ain't nothing close to it. How about billionaires? How many billionaires are out there? Yeah, we can talk about it because people didn't feel it. But what's starting to happen now is you could talk about big credit, people being out on credit, but until it happens, people don't feel it.
How long has Bernie Sanders been saying this very same thing?
And what's Bernie? He's a senator out of Vermont. He's not president. He didn't win. So what? So what? He was a nominee. I can give you a lot of nominees. I'm sorry, he was a candidate. I can give you a lot of candidates. Big deal. He's great. I felt the burn. I love Bernie. I think he's got a lot of great ideas. But his time isn't there at that point. And he may have his own little group like Trump has his big group. I don't know. I'm just saying he isn't the man. It's going to be somebody who's going to be more, I just think, harder on the world. Better on dealing with friends in the world and trying to deal with people in America. And I think it's going to be somebody who really cares. I'm not impressed with Gavin Newsom acting like Trump. Very interesting X stuff where they show it, but big deal. Does that mean he's a leader? California's had issues. Okay, but at the same time, California feeds our economy. New York feeds our economy. The blue states feed our economy, not the red states. Meanwhile, the red states have a lot of them, like Memphis, Tennessee, have higher rates of violence, but Trump hasn't said to anybody down there. I know I'm jumping around, but people are going to be feeling it because they see this split. Nobody's ever had the split before, Joe. Everybody said you're an American. You're an American. If there was a tornado, they got taken care of. It didn't matter what state you were in. If there was a flood, you got taken care of. It didn't matter which state you're in. It didn't matter what party the president was. Now we have a president and a party that only cares about their party, red. That's all I care about. And remember, red was communism. Everybody forgets this. That was the communist color. You couldn't even wear it on the floor. They like to wear those red ties. They're communists. But they're so busy trying to split up the country. You never had it like this before. Maryland didn't get money that they needed for floods. Trump's talking about the Key Bridge, which went down, which is a massive bridge for commerce in America. Oh, he doesn't like what the governor's saying. He doesn't want to give them the money. I'm just using that as an example. He's that way with all the blue states. It doesn't work. That's why people are going to start feeling it and seeing it, because you got a president who doesn't believe in America. He only believes in himself and what those believe in him believe, and nothing more. And I think this is a major inflection point. Where it's going to go, hopefully it's going to be good. Man, I used to tell people that Watergate shook the pillars of the Constitution. I look back on it, Nixon wasn't that bad. I mean, he really screwed LBJ in America when LBJ tried to have the ceasefire in Vietnam so that he could get so that Nixon could win the election and Humphrey couldn't. But he kind of cared about the country. He had the EPA. He had other things. I never heard him say he loved Russia. I never heard him say he loved Mao Zedong. I never heard him say he came back to be friends with him because Mao knew he wouldn't fool around with him. Mao knew Nixon wasn't afraid of him. Like Putin knows that Trump is afraid of him or loves him. So we have this. There we go. I have no criticism. The host can go on topic. American vacay during a failing economy. Mike, I'm not sure what you're saying, but you two vacay all they like. I have no criticism. We're not criticizing people. Joe, do you think Mike thinks we're criticizing people?
I think Mike is saying that he respects that we're coming on live during our vacation.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
That's not the issue. It's that I think his point is that a lot of Americans are on vacation now. The world is not so tough. People are doing their fantasy football drafts. People are spending time with their kids and grandkids. The weather is nice out. What's all this complaining about when things are perfectly fine?
I agree. It's perfect right now. But it's the day we come on.
So this new gloom and doom talk that you have, people aren't feeling.
That's fine. That's fine.
Right, Mike? Is that what you're trying to say?
Joe, you may be 100% correct, and Mike may feel that way. And we said at the beginning, right on Labor Day, look, we've been off 2 weeks. We had to get warmed up again. We had to come back and get ready to start kicking some butt, because Wednesday's after Labor Day, and then we're going to be on fire. So we had to start getting it together and keep hoping we're going to get this thing fixed with YouTube so I can get Joe right next to me, because it's like when we were in Philly. It was just better that way. But Mike, we love you. By the way, I love Mike. I think Mike's great. I love Spartacus. I love Mike. Cheryl's okay. She's been around for a while. Mike, Dr. V, 100%. Mike, don't be so nice to Dr. V. Please. Come on.
Mike.
I love Mike.
I think the point that we try to make over and over again is that, we're one country, we're pro-America, and that we have issues in this country, and by working together, we can solve those issues. I think that's how society moves ahead, by working together. And I think our major issue with the current administration is that it doesn't seem to be interested in working together as a common country. It seems to be playing favorites for the people who already have a lot of resources versus helping the people who need our help. And for me, the strength of a person, the strength of a country is not how much you help your friends who already have things, but how much you help people who need stuff. That's what makes a person great, is that they care about humanity as a whole, not just their own personal pocketbook, just not their own personal interests.
I agree. I want to say one thing, if I may. Spartacus and Mike, we love you both. I just think you had a little disagreement. Forget about it. You both you guys are great. Spartacus, I love you.
Of course you love Spartacus.
We love Spartacus, and Mike's a great commentator.
Absolutely.
So don't fight. It ain't worth fighting.
Here.
Right, we're here together. Don't fight. You can disagree right on, but please don't get mad at each other. That's no fun. Which Joe and I don't get mad at each other, and we really disagree a lot.
Mark is so full of crap most of the time, that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So that's where we are with it. So that's where it is.
We still love each other.
We do. Cheryl, are we left or right? We're Americans. It's really that simple. But hey,
You are correct. Not right, not left, correct.
not right, not left, correct. But we are correct that it is Devo. But this is what I want you guys to do, because I got forced to go back and look at their old albums. I want you to go onto YouTube, and I'm not making money on this, and look up Devo Corporate Anthem. It's like a 1-minute video. That is how I look at how we are being told to deal with the President of the United States and with the government. Watch it. You too, Joe. You got to. It's great. It is minimalist. It is Devo. It is absolutely minimalist. The Devo Corporate Anthem. Watch it on YouTube. I could almost do it myself like this. Everybody will hang up real fast. It'll kind of be like when you were dancing for the Eagles. Let me get one other thing I want to throw out before we get to our last issue. I want to throw some music out here, guys. Jethro Tull's best album, Thick as a Brick. Joe gave it the okay. Little Milton. This album was better than Quadrophenia and Tommy. Yes.
No way.
Nah, gosh.
No
much better. And we still love each other. This album, you turn it on, it's got a whole story. It's in newspapers. Look at this. Incredible. Newspaper articles about all these guys, laying it out here. You read it. You play the first side. It's like 30 minutes. Ends, leads you into the second side. What a great album. Thick as a brick. Okay, better than Aqualung. You can agree with me on that or not?
Yeah, no, I love the Thick as a Brick.
Yeah, Aqualung is great. I love Aqualung.
Yeah.
Locomotive breath. I liked Up Till Thick as a Brick. I loved the Jethro Tull. Benefit. stand up, aqualung, thick as a brick. Then after that, they started going downhill as far as I'm concerned. But if you loved them, you loved them. I say right on. These guys were great. I saw them like 3 times in concert. Okay, let's get back to where I wanted to hit one thing. Whoa! Sorry, that was my little foot there. I wanted to hit one more thing before I want to hit something interesting. You know how Donald Trump has been talking about getting the Nobel Peace Prize? But I've been putting up there on Substack. I want you to look at Substack. I've been putting my notes up like 2 or 3 a day. Please follow us. We're getting some people on Substack.
Yeah, and don't forget I got a Substack.
He does too. Joe does too. Correct. Get us going. Send me. I have to get yours and stick it on there, Joe. What's happening here is Trump wants the Nobel Peace Prize, but I keep putting up that Trump's going to get the Order of St. Andrew. Do you know what the Order of St. Andrew is, Joe?
No.
It is Russia's highest award.
Oh, there you go.
It's Russia's highest honor. And I'm looking forward to somebody give a meme one day with Trump sitting there and Putin putting the Order of St. Andrew around him because he loves Russia and doesn't care about American interests. Not when he's letting American companies get bombed by Putin. Not when he's letting American troops get have drones overhead. We got a real problem in this country, Joe. I'm sorry. And one other thing, the Ministry of Truth. Remember this, guys. When a guy wears a hat says that he was always right, you know he is always wrong, okay? Because he's just trying to tell you, I'm right, I'm there, okay? And hype us, Joe. Am I too crazy today, Joe? Joe, am I too crazy today?
You're not too crazy, no.
Okay, then one more thing. Well, that worries me now that he said that. I didn't pay him. I refused. He wanted money to say that, but I would not give it to him. Okay, one other thing which is interesting to watch, just one more little quick thing, is that the Court of, International Affairs or whatever it is, Court of International Business has found that the tariffs are illegal. Because Trump said, it was a 7-4 victory, but it's going to go to the supine court. But Trump said, look up supine, S-U-P-I-N-E, then you'll know why I call the Supreme Court the supine court. Those who don't know, if you're wondering why, some people ask me, I said, just look it up, you'll know why. But what's happening there is they said you can't just say that there's an emergency and then tax people just because you want to say it's an emergency. And then they're saying, well, you're taxing baby strollers and you're taxing all this other stuff. It's a tax. That's all it is, a tax. So hopefully this wins, though the tariffs are staying in effect. But watch your numbers. Don't spend too much money. Don't take the money out of your house. Please, guys, you're going to need that money. You're going to need that money. I'm telling you. Don't take the money out of your house. And no more, try not to spend too much more on your Visa cards. I'm worried, Joe, I'm worried, but I love America, and I'm worried about especially our middle class, which is getting so small, but it's just getting killed. And the lower classes, I don't like the word lower, those that make less money, that make less in the middle, because middle's kind of been coming down there. And who's making all the money? Who's smiling? You see them when they go out and buy them big pocketbooks and stuff. You know and I know. It ain't a matter of birdie. It ain't a matter of AOC. It's a matter of using your eyes, using your ears, and opening your mouth. No more Sergeant Schultz. I see nothing. I hear nothing. I say nothing. It's time to stand up and tell everybody about us, please, because we're going to be talking fantasy football right after this, because I have a couple names for my brother here, and he is my brother. But please, put it out there. Give us a hype. I don't know what hype means, but they say it's hype. So I like the word hype. So please hype us. Please bring friends in. Please let people know what you think. Mike, we love you. We're going to do all this stuff. We're going to see everybody. Spartacus, I love you. Guillermo, I love you. I love everybody who's been there. Who says, I see Cheryl in there also? I think I did. Thank you all for coming. We're back Wednesday at 5. No Labor Day, no more excuses. We get focused. We start rolling. This has been a really good Mike. We love you too. It's been a really great one. I love every one of our commentators. I love Joe Volpicelli. Even though he can be wrong sometimes, I love the data machine. And we love you guys, and we're going to be seeing you. Please listen to Thick as a Brick when you get worked up. I saw it just very, very quickly. I was with my nephews, my grandnephews, and I said, listen to Yellow Submarine. And he's like 8.5. And he was like, it's just, you want to have fun with it. And he was like, Then I pull up the video. And, you know, it's cartoon, the video. He loved it. Suddenly he loves the song. So you got it. Maybe you have to take a little video where you listen to some music to make it happen. But I'm telling you, lay back, enjoy, rock and roll. And the kids are the greatest. Enjoy your kids today. Enjoy your kids tomorrow. Enjoy your families. Enjoy our country. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy the food. Please. Why not? What good's living if you're not going to do it, right? And as Joe says, Mark, you always look weird when you take off your glasses and you come in looking like that. So I did that for Joe because he likes to see that stuff.
That's scary. That's scary.
It is scary, isn't it? Well, if you look at our thumbnail, the picture of Benjamin Franklin, he's got a Jewish nose too. Did you see that? I call him Benjamin Frankenstein on that thumbnail. What a schnoz. It fights with this one. Look, the numbers went up as soon as I showed it. I'll show it again. Look at that. We love you all. Enjoy your Labor Days. What happened there? What can I tell you? Enjoy it. Eat, drink, be merry. We're going to be back Wednesday. Yeah, things are crazy. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy your life. You can be bummed. You can think things are bad. You can jump up and down. You can say what you want to say, but enjoy it. Enjoy your life because you only go around once. We've gone around, I'm almost 72 times. My buddies there 72 times around the sun. When we want to keep orbiting, don't we, Joe? We're going to be like Voyager. We're going to be like Voyager, which got sent out, in 71 or 72, and it's still out there cruising. Just went over whatever the other side is. Woo, crazy stuff. We love you. And if you're square, we ain't there. See us Wednesday, 5 o'clock. Hype us. Send us out to everybody. What's going on? And that's the way it is.
Period.
See you Wednesday.